You've probably heard of how great morning routines are, how they help you start your day great so you can use that momentum throughout the day to make it the best day ever. The hardest part about a morning routine is probably going to be the first 2 minutes when you have to get out of bed. And if your momentum is slow within those first 2 minutes, it can be really hard to ever get going.
So, what prepares you for debatably the toughest part of your day?
The getting up part, ignoring the beckoning, fluffy, comfy blankets and pillows.
That's where a nightly routine becomes important.
I imagine a morning and night routine as yin and yang, two forces perfectly complementing each other. There cannot be a shadow without the light. I believe it is hard to have a good morning without a good night. A good night will complement a good morning.
So, what is the definition of a good night?
It's not going out on the town, staying up late, smacking on microwavable foods, chilling on the phone, watching TV, bright lights, working right up to bed, and loud music. That sounds like a terrible night routine. When I set up a nightly routine, I have 3 objectives. Wind down, get to bed on time, prepare for the next day.
I'm not here to tell you what time to go to bed or how many hours of sleep to get. Everybody runs on a different schedule.
For the 4:30 a.m. waker-uppers, not everybody runs on the same chronotype. We are all very proud of you. And for the night owls, staying up at 2 a.m. watching TV does not mean that you are more productive late into the night.
But whichever you are, it's important to be consistent with your wake time and your bedtime.
My whole night routine begins after I've brushed my teeth, changed into my PJs, and gone to the bathroom because to me it just makes zero sense interrupting your sleep cycle to take a piss.
My routine begins 15 minutes before I head to bed, which is usually 10 or 10:15 p.m.
I turn off the lights and turn on my bedside lamp. The soft light sets the mood for bed, and if my laundry hamper is stinky, I'll light a candle too. Just kidding, kinda. I whip out my planner with a nightly routine checklist. The first in my routine checklist is water, as in my water bottle. I always fill up my water bottle before bed so it is full for the morning. Next in my routine checklist is space, as in my space. I put everything back in its proper place. Clothes on the floor, put them in the drawer. Dishes on the dresser, wash them. Desk flooded with papers, organize them and put them away. I basically clean the place as if my mom was coming over. Aside from ensuring my mom doesn't think I'm messy, it keeps everything in its place when my morning routine starts, and then after that, when my work starts. I'm telling you, from personal experience, it's fantastic knowing where all your stuff is in the morning, especially when it gets hectic. So the essentials for the morning are all on my bedside table. I have my journal, my planner, book, watch, and water bottle. When it comes to putting things back in its place, I put my phone on the desk across the room. For me, it's going to be most likely the number one problem as to what will screw up my morning or night routine. And I do this for 3 reasons. It forces me to get out of bed to turn off my alarm in the morning. I can't reach my desk while I'm still in bed. It also prevents the before you go to bed, check my phone urge, because I will get it. And then it prevents me from using it in the morning while still under the covers. I also turn it on airplane mode. I do this for 2 very specific reasons. The first one is I don't want to be woken up by a buzz, a beep, or a ding from a push notification while I'm trying to have a perfect night's sleep. The other reason, when I wake up, I don't want to be instantly hit with the world trying to penetrate my life. I already have too many notifications, texts, social medias, and emails to keep track of during the day. I don't need them in the morning either. So the airplane mode keeps me focused and acts as a barrier from the outside world until I'm ready for it. Now I set out my clothes for the next day. I've never done this in the past, but I find it extremely helpful despite all the times my mom said I should do it. It removes one decision in the morning, increases efficiency, which increases morning momentum, which I realize is one of the biggest powers of a morning routine. Momentum that carries you throughout your entire day. So I set out my workout clothes and then I set out my outfit for the day.
Now I can hop in bed because I only have one more thing on my checklist.
Writing in my planner is my favorite part of my nightly routine, and it has multiple parts to it, so hold on tight. It gets super crazy. In my planner, I have a star, an upward arrow, and then an arrow to the right. The star, what went well today? It's a gratitude check, a way to look back and remember small good things that happen every day that I wouldn't necessarily remember 3 years from now, a month, or even next week. Now it's in writing, permanently reminding me of how lucky I am. And if I ever have a bad day, I get to focus on what went well that day instead of what didn't. The upward arrow, what is something that could have made today better? It is so crucial for me to ask myself this question, because if I don't take the time to figure out what I'm doing that's preventing me from maximizing my day, I feel like I'm walking aimlessly and not learning from day to day. There's a big difference between living by accident and living purposefully. I got this from Tim Ferriss's book, Tools of Titans. Great book, and would certainly recommend it. And then I have an arrow pointing to the right. What do I have to look forward to tomorrow? Life is not happening to us. It's happening for us. So, regardless of what is going on tomorrow, I get to have something to look forward to. No matter how much work sucks butt, waking up early stinks, or going to school is boring, I can find one thing that will make me smile. This helps me shoot out of bed even when I don't always want to, and also reminds me to look forward to the next day, because we are here to live, not drudging along day to day in the same boring, mundane cycle. If tomorrow isn't exciting, I'd encourage you to spice it up somehow. Maybe even quit your draining job for something that will allow you to be happy. After I finish my star and arrow questions, I prepare my planner for the next day. At the top, the date, of course. On the left, 1 to 4 things that would make tomorrow a dynamite day. On the right, I have a short to-do list of possible things I didn't do earlier that day or anything that comes to mind. There is a difference between a dynamite day and a to-do list. To-do list is not a priority. Completing them rarely makes a dynamite day, but if I complete all the tasks on the left-hand side, I'm setting myself up to be very proud of what I accomplished that day. Then, I plan my workout for my morning routine. I want to make the decision for my future self because, to be honest, running 10 miles tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. doesn't sound so bad versus making the decision to run 10 miles at 6 a.m. in the moment, which would be much tougher. So I intentionally remove the ambiguity and make my workout very clear the night before. Planning for the next day before bed helps me internalize what I will be doing tomorrow as I sleep. Billy Kidd, 1960s Olympic skiing legend, says the 3 most important turns in a ski run are the last 3 before you get back on the lift for another run. He says, if your last 3 turns are precision, then precision is what you will internalize on the lift back up. It's great advice. It's why we should pay attention to the end of our day. How do we spend the last 30 minutes of our day? With laziness, dopamine shots from our phone, discipline, creativity, anger, violent and sad movies? And then when you wake up, think about how you feel and compare it to how you felt when you went to bed the night before. So I do my best to internalize discipline, happiness, and excitement during my nightly routine. Discipline through doing the ritual every night, happiness through reviewing what made today great, and excitement for all the great things that come tomorrow. If you have any questions as to why I do a certain thing for my night routine, go ahead and comment down below. Or if you have any suggestions, I'd love to hear them as well. And if you guys have your own nightly routine, I'd love to hear about them as well. Sharing is caring, and until Monday, be good.